astrology, and other divinatory arts are not a replacement or substitute for physical or psychiatric health care. If this is an emergency situation or you are in crisis, please do not defer your wellness to readings or horoscopes. Seek situation-appropriate, qualified assistance instead. Hi there, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for July 2022. And just a quick reminder, if you are curious about Jupiter retrograde, we're going to be talking about that in one of my special deep dive videos. It's happening at the very end of this month, but there's a lot to go over with the Jupiter retrograde, and it does last a long time, so we're not going to be covering it here, but stay tuned. That'll be coming soon. And if you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And of course, engagement helps this channel out a lot. So what is going on when it comes to your month of July? Well, we'll start with the Sun, bringing special focus and highlights, attention, enhancement, and support to your second house of earned income, employment, your values and valuables, Cancer, through the 22nd of the month. The Sun in the second house is all about presenting new value to what you actually do for the world, or what you are bringing to the office, what you are bringing to your field. And a lot of you are going to find that throughout the course of the first 3 weeks of this month, there may be a change that is going on in your workspace, or maybe in your field if you work for yourself, that is allowing you to increase what you get as compensation, whether this is because a market shift is happening and you can give yourself a raise your prices, raise your rates, or you may be finding that because of the value that you are getting more of from maybe your employer or a group that you're a part of, that you are being offered new incentive. You are being offered a lot of more money for essentially what you already do, right? There is a raise here without a huge change in terms of the demands put upon you. This is a great time for those of you who are maybe job hunting or looking for new work as well, to find a job that will give you the same treatment, where you are going to be getting more for not having to do anything differently. This is also a time where a lot of you are going to find that your business, whether it is your office, your employer, or maybe even something that you have already established for yourself, is becoming more popular. Something that you have already had a hand in is gaining a lot of traction in your community, or maybe in the global community if it's something that also, has a big reach or goes online. And so make sure that you're ready. This is going to require you to be more attentive and more involved and more engaged, but it is going to be something that you can also treat yourself with. After the 22nd of the month, the Sun moves on into Leo for the duration of July and on into August. This is your third house of communications, pacts, promises, commitments, as well as helpful third parties. And this is and your peer group, and your peer group. And this is a time where a lot of you are going to find that with the Sun in the third house, there is a lot of shuffling going on around you. There's going to be a major transformation in terms of the populations of people that you are working most closely with. Whether these are helpful third parties, people that are a part of your network, or maybe a part of a creative or professional community you're engaged in, or this could even be a change in terms of your client and customer bases, maybe your following, and how you are interacting and engaging with your community on a local level, or potentially online, because the third house also rules tech and communication devices. You may also find that during this shuffling, new populations of people to work with are displacing old populations that either you've gotten tired of or have kind of hit their limit as far as their growth and how much we can work with them. Of course, the best and the brightest, the people that are, meant to be there forever, are going to stay. We don't have to worry about it just being a clean sweep. But with the Sun here, you're going to be noticing, okay, I'm working with a whole new population of customers. I'm broadcasting to a whole new population of people. I am working more closely, with my of course, my big pieces, my rooks, right? I'm working much more closely with my strongest cards, but a lot of my weaker cards or a lot of my less involved cards are getting swapped out for different populations and different people. It might feel weird during this time, but it is about lifting you up by transforming the company that you keep. And a lot of these helpful third parties will be showing their worth and their value to you throughout the end of this month and going into August. We have Mars, the planet of action, passion, energy, that obstacle clearing driving force in Taurus through the duration of the month, starting July 5th, all right? So it's basically July 5th going well into August. Mars is in the 12th house. This is your past, privacy, hidden zone, right? Anything that is kind of not brought into the everyday, the stuff that could go way, way, way back in our lives, or maybe even things that are related to some unfinished business, things that we've stuffed down, things that we have not given attention to that really do need our attention. Mars in the 12th house is going to be a very interesting period for you, Gemini people, because this is giving you an opportunity to clear out and eliminate a lot of old pressures, a lot of old losses, as well as a lot of old distractions, derailments, or problems that may have been put upon you in the past, either by your own choices or by others, or a smattering of the two. With Mars in the 12th house, however, this can bring up a lot of old business that we do need to clean up. And depending on what's going on with other people, it may or may not be easy. It's going to be kind of on a case-to-case basis. Sometimes these are old financial situations. These are old family narratives, old projects. But what happens with Mars here is that it's a transformative period. We're transmuting a lot of things that ultimately cannot stay as they have been. And we are purging things out that have been maybe draining us, causing us loss, causing us delays, setting us off track, undoing things that were either done by ourselves that we wish we could take back, or even eliminating and undoing things that got started by those who came before. And yes, this can go into maybe professional history or family history with people that are not you, but you have also been dealing with or had to deal with the repercussions of their actions in some kind of way. However, Mars in the 12th house can also be very exhilarating because this is also a time for a lot of fulfillment, especially when it comes to fantasy fulfillment. Anything where a lot of dreams, a lot of aspirations, aspects of your nature, or maybe even an enterprise or a pursuit that you have forced to stay in the attic, stay in the basement, hidden away, locked up, kept out of the public eye, is finally going to have a chance to, be broken free so that it can come forth into being. We have Venus, the planet of love, favor, popularity, and affection in Gemini, your sign, through the 17th of the month. And of course, whenever we have a planet in our sign, we are getting the wild card blessings of that planet. And so Venus, love, favor, popularity, and affection in your sign is turning you into an attention and affection magnet and a love magnet as well. This is a beautiful time for a lot of you Gemini people to indulge yourselves, to test curiosities, to maybe even call in favors, to do anything where you are, making this month about you for the first half. Where have we maybe made our lives about other people's journeys or kind of just being sort of the custodian of other paths? Where have we maybe been starved a little bit? Or where have we gone without? Or where have we fasted too much or repressed too much? Venus here can actually be a very freeing influence because you're not only getting a chance to test a lot of waters that could be, seen as a bit indulgent, whether these are for business or for pleasure or something that you would like to do for yourself, to treat yourself with. You're attracting a lot of easy resources to make it so. And you're also going to find that important conversations with people about maybe changing the path you're on with them are going to be a lot easier as well. You know, if you do need to share something, if you do need to make that connection, if you do need to have it out there, right? Because sometimes we do have to be like telling our partners, I want to go a different direction than what we've been doing, or I want to ask for a favor from the boss, or I want to, you know, change my image, or I want to put more of my focus over here. Venus is going to bring that support. It's going to bring that ease. It's going to bring that grace to also help you make that so. After the 17th, Venus moves on into Cancer for the duration of the month. This is that second house of earned income, employment, values, and valuables. And once again, we've got a new money magnet situation. And with Venus in the second house, you're going to be finding that you are starting to not only get a lot more comfy when it comes to your workplace or your career, what you do for a living, but Venus is also going to be giving you an opportunity to jump into a higher earning lane. Now, this could be something that is offered to you because Venus can sometimes show up through a gift giver. And we've seen a lot of talk about helpful third parties, right, with the sun entering Leo around this time as well. And so there may actually be some kind of special hookup at the second half of this month, which is allowing you to maybe maneuver your career or maybe an income avenue into a way where it is precipitating a lot more wealth, a lot more quickly, and again, with a lot less effort. We've got Mercury, the planet of communications, haste, and productivity, entering that second house of earned income and employment, values, and valuables, July 5th, and will remain here through July 19th. Mercury is all about speeding up developments, and this is all about speeding up the rate with which you acquire money, the way you acquire resources, transactions, meetings, interviews, promotion opportunities, anything where you do need to kind of get a lot of talk out of the way before you can maybe step into a new job, step into a new income profile, or if you're looking to maybe speed up the rate with which you are able to finally acquire any kind of wealth that, you know, you should be getting, or you're looking to maybe take on a lot of extra work, which is going to pay off really quickly. Mercury is helping you out here because Mercury helps things add up fast. This is also a time where a lot of you are going to get a chance to speed up your growth when it comes to your reputation, your profile, when it comes to your role at the office, your rank at the office, or maybe the name you wish to make for yourself when it comes to your career or your chosen field. So be ready. It's going to be a high activity month, but one with a fair amount of payoffs for you. After the 19th, Mercury enters Leo, that third house of communications, pacts, promises, commitments, and helpful third parties, and your peer group, and Mercury will be here going on into August. Mercury in the third house is all about you getting a chance to speed up and bring to fruition a lot of old business, kind of like with that Mars in the 12th house, but in this case, old projects and old contracts that may be outstanding, things that you want to wrap up, things that you need to close the books on so that you can get started with a new story in your life. With Mercury in the third house, yes, helpful third parties are showing up to make it so. You may also be finding a lot of people wanting to get more involved in your life that are really helpful, that are actually bona fide, you know, good friends, good allies, but it may not necessarily match the boundaries you've set around yourself. And with Mercury, we have to pay attention to, okay, where might our boundaries sometimes be working against us? Would it be better to let my friend or my business partner in closer? Would it be better to bring more hands on deck with something that I'm working on? Would it be better to let somebody promote and propagate and push this project or this product that I want to see popularized? This is going to be a time where a lot of you Gemini people need to see where we can stop going so solo, or where we need to loosen up with any of the defenses we've put around ourselves, because Mercury in the third house is all about speeding a lot of old things to fruition, doubly so with Mars in the 12th house, but also at the same time speeding you up into a whole new, not only name for yourself, but a whole new territory that you are conquering, not just for you, but any other teammates, collaborators, or partners involved in whatever capacity. We have a full moon, right? Always closing up with these luminations. A full moon in Capricorn on July 13th. The full moon, of course, is all about culminations, as well as transitions and endings. And a full moon in your 8th house of shared resources, passive income, self-employment earnings, as well as intimacy is pretty complicated. A full moon in the 8th house kind of hits a lot of different areas at once. So the first thing that I want to mention is with a full moon in the 8th house, the 2-week period between the 13th of July and roughly the 27th or 28th of July, depending on where you live in the world, it's going to be pretty wild. It's going to be pretty hot, for a lot of you who are looking to get hot and wild, because a full moon in the 8th house is all about giving you a chance to be a bit bolder and make some bold moves, or take yourself on a bold adventure when it comes to your intimate life. And I don't want to get too smutty with this, but that's basically where it is going, because a full moon in the 8th house is very uninhibited. And this is a time where a lot of fantasies, inclinations, or even romantic or sexual tension kind of comes to a boiling point. And it can be, again, very fun for a lot of you Gemini people to cut loose. This is also a time where a lot of you are going to find a means of eliminating some kind of financial barrier, whether this is a barrier that has to do with maybe an old debt, something going on with credit, or a financial barrier that has maybe blocked you from being able to acquire some kind of venture capital or make some kind of major investment you want to make in your own self, your own business, or your family. We also finally have a new moon, which is on the 28th of the month. This is a new moon in Leo, that 3rd house of communications, pacts, promises, commitments, and helpful third parties. And a new moon in the 3rd house is all about you getting a chance to set up a lot of new collaborations, a lot of new alliances, but also have a very strong start when it comes to a debut, or maybe even a project or a collaborative effort that you've already got going on is going to finally have its big launch, or get the attention, get the awareness, get the support that it needs. This could be drawing in, as we saw with a lot of these other 3rd house aspects, right? The attention, or the support that is pushing out maybe what's been in its way. This could also be a time where a lot of you are also getting a chance to set up shop in a new space in the world, however that's going to apply to you, whether it's online or in the physical. And a lot of you are also going to find with the new moon in the 3rd house that there is some kind of new long-term road being built, a new long-term road being opened for you and perhaps a partner, whether it's a business partner or a romantic partner or a collaborator, to achieve a new kind of fame or recognition in the community you want to make a name for yourselves in. So that is what I've got for you, Gemini. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And should you ever wish to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com.